Asshole. And welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the show that basically celebrates being a geek. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael. And I made you smile. Hey, you know what? At least we start the show with a smile this way.
What were you doing to that poster?
Absolutely nothing.
Horrible.
Deny everything demand-proof, and any video is Photoshop.
Yeah, you're right.
I know those.
Oh.
And I know those. Okay. By the way, if you guys go for, I was talking about this before show. The poster behind me is from Golden Boy, which is an excellent anime in my opinion, one of the best, and it's definitely in my top 10. And you can get it if you hunt around. It was put out last put out by Anime Works. You can get it the entire series in a 2-disc set. It looks like this.
Pretty. I still need to get it on DVD.
And you can get it for like under $20 if you know where to look. And it's good quality. It's a good. The dub's actually funny on this one. I mean, they're both, the dub and the sub are, this is one of the few cases where I actually like the dub as much as the sub.
Yeah, it's you can swap between the two, not a problem, and it's still absolutely hilarious.
Especially the Emo Baby episode.
God.
The one, how that voice actor said that with a straight face is beyond me.
I doubt that she did, or he did, or...
No, it was a she.
Oh, yeah, that scene. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yes, I do now. I need to watch it again.
Claim your prize. Claim your prize.
My God. All right. Well, before I get to what I've been doing for the past 4 days, Michael, how have you been? What have you been up to the past week?
Past week? Well, let's see. This week was pretty busy at work, actually. But I finally beat BioShock Infinite. Love that game. I am of mixed emotions on the ending. I totally understand it. It's a beautiful ending. It makes perfect sense. It's a fantastically written story. But I didn't want it to end. So...
Well, I mean, we might...
And the return to Rapture was kind of chintzy. I mean, I get what they did, and I get how they did it, and the story-wise, why they did it. But it was kind of chintzy. Well, we were there for a whole 3 minutes. You know?
They had to tie it in somehow. Come on. But we could talk a little more about that in post-show, in more detail, in a spoiler-filled zone.
Yes, there'll be a spoiler zone when we talk about BioShock.
Speaking of BioShock Infinite, you know, the first of the 3 sets of DLCs will be coming out late July.
Yes,
and if you looked at all the not just rumors, but all the information that's starting to come out of BioWare, like they were looking for new AI developers for a brand new character for DLC for a released product coming out in July.
BioWare or for 2K?
Or whoever is releasing.
It's not BioWare.
Sorry, my apologies. 2K for BioShock Infinite.
Nice.
So there's probably some new character, probably some better AI, but
I wanna see him expand Elizabeth's story.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we're not giving you spoilers on it.
If you haven't played it, you need to. It's a fantastic story. Yeah. You're probably going to want to record the review because I'm going to ramble for a bit and we can edit that into a segment. But anyway, so let's see. I was doing that and started playing Deadpool.
Such a fun game.
Now that Deadpool is out, game is a hoot. Love it. I'm not... the only problem I have with it... Well, there's 2 things I have with it. Problem number 1, I don't like the voice for the main Wade Wilson. I like his screwball voice, and I like his high and mighty voice, but the normal voice, that's not how I hear Deadpool talk. Voice tone-wise, the dialogue's fine, but the voice itself, I'm not that impressed with. So I have that's one minor, but that's a minor thing. The one thing that does bug the hell out of me is if you're playing it on the PC, this doesn't matter if you're on a console, but it is obvious this game was written for a console. Its control scheme was written for a console because the key placement for... It's not a show until Michael has a hat. I'll put on a hat later. It's not... The key placement for the PC version, you're going to remap it because
You have to.
You have to. It's a royal. When you got the teleports down here and the interactions up here, and and you're splaying your hands in degrees that your hands don't bend.
So true, so true.
And I can't find I couldn't find my USB controller, so although I've got the driver that you hooked me up with to hook up my PS2 or PS3 controller, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But that aside, it's still a hell of a fun game. It's enjoyable. The party scene was hilarious.
Yes.
When he just snaps and you're in that's commercial good. We can babble. When he snaps and you're in what's obviously in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, so funny. so funny.
Yeah,
and I really like the model for Domino, but I've always been a fan of Domino. So
I think the best way to describe this game is you play the game for the dialogue, for the kind of the story. You play it for the funny bits. You don't play it for the gameplay, because let's be honest, the gameplay
it's nothing stellar. No. It's solid gameplay, especially if you're on a console, but on a PC, you remap everything and you're fine.
True.
The gameplay's solid. I'll give it that. It's got good control once you remap it. The controls are responsive. The camera's not horrible. Of course, if you're playing with a mouse, you control the damn camera, which I really like.
The AI is herp derp.
Actually, the AI is not totally the AI is off and on herp derp.
Okay.
There was a point where I walked up behind a guy, and it should have spotted me and didn't. And I'm just like, really? Let's see how long I can stand here before he notices me. And I must have stood there for a good 30 seconds before I said, "Oh, fuck it, kill him."
But all in all, it is a hell of a fun
it's a lot
ride.
of fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. And the heal factor in it is kind of, it's interesting. I expect him to heal. I did not expect his suit to heal.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That was an odd mechanic that they threw in there.
It was cool seeing the him getting like ripped to shreds and whatnot. And I understand, the wounds on his skin will heal. But then why is his costume growing
why is
back?
his costume repairing itself? I don't recall that being canon in the comics. But otherwise, it was a great game. If you haven't played it, play it.
Mm-hmm. It is a ton of fun. All right. As for me, as many of you know, if you were following me, I was at Anime Expo, spending way too much money for parking. But hey.
How was the show itself? Be honest.
There were a couple cool things. There was one great idea that I hope other cons actually duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it just seemed like par for the course. Maybe even a little stale at times.
Okay.
Some of the programming was very well done. It was definitely industry heavy this year, to the point of they should have found a way to either acquire more additional space somewhere to have more live programming rooms,
mm-hmm.
because some of the rooms they threw some certain panels in didn't make any sense whatsoever, and because of that, and especially some of these panels were incredibly popular and they knew this, lines were it was LineCon 2013 as I've never seen it before. Like for room 411, which is the little theater in the LA Convention Center, they would have a very popular panel in there.
The 200 person capacity room.
And there'll be 400 to 500 people in line. Hell, my panel, which I'll get to in a second, was absolutely packed. People were standing in the back, and there was still a line out the door. And they threw me in workshop 2.
Really?
Yeah. When last year we were in LP2.
So wait, workshop 2. Is that Jenny or Greg's room? Is that Jenny or Greg's room?
Jenny was actually in LP1 this year.
Oh, really?
She was doing lights, but
okay.
Yeah. So it was LineCon like I've never seen before. Little clarity here. This was actually the first year that I've actually had to go through the registration line to get a badge.
Mm-hmm.
That took on day 0 near late afternoon over 2 hours.
which is actually pretty good for
Considering
prior
past
history.
years, the way they did it was they made the line long enough so that you are actually looping back and forth, several times.
Hmm.
So for the most part, you're still constantly moving to get to the front. So I'm just glad I did it during the late afternoon when the sun was just about to set, because doing it when the sun was up would have been murder.
Yeah,
Because
I
it was
can
outside in
imagine.
the sun. So exhibit hall, par for the course in terms of layout.
How about
Autographs
size?
on the right, artist alley in the back. The industry booths up front were some were very very impressive.
Hmm.
I think the best looking booth, the best design booth overall, was actually Sentai Filmworks. They had a pro level booth that would, in terms of its design and
Hmm.
how smooth and slick it looked, it
Hmm.
could compete with the big boys at Comic Con.
Cool.
Of course, I mean
Well,
they also,
it'll probably be at Comic Con, so I'll
yeah.
probably see it in 2 weeks.
Not to mention they had the nice little perk of, I don't know, renting a freaking tank and placing it outside the convention center,
Nice.
and then having some cosplay group up on the tank to promote Girls
Was
in
it Girls
Panzer.
and Panzer?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was kind of impressive. I'll give them
Hmm.
that. A couple booths like Crunchyroll, they did the whole. We're gonna have live streams. We'll have DJs playing throughout the entire con. Okay, that's cool. I caught Brian Yang, aka DJ Prex. He was streaming a few times
Cool.
in a new outfit. Not Raymu this time, but
Yay, it's about time. Don't get me wrong, it was a good costume, but God, it gets old after a while.
because it's being copied left, right, and center. Main events. Main events. The phrase "ooh shiny" comes to mind. It was an extra wide screen. Took 6 projectors to sync everything up on it. Um, I forgot that the resolution was. I think it was like 1920 by 576 or something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. I mean, it looked nice. It had a decent lighting setup. The camera selection was kind of weird. Is the placement, because one, they had a camera up front on wheels. It wasn't on a rail. They
Hmm.
had one by the sound booth,
Hmm.
and then they had one back in BFE theater right with a doubler on it, but nothing theater left. It's kind of it made for some very unique angles when they blasted them on the screen.
Hmm.
Still said it great. It it finally got the 18-inch subs, so it was
Nice.
it was a lot of wub.
Nice.
I think one of the stroke of genius, I would say, that was actually a really good idea that I know they copied off at other cons, was the entertainment hall, where in West Hall A, they decided we're gonna throw a bunch of stuff in this room at the same time, which was tabletop, which was huge, PC gaming, console gaming, arcade. They set up 2 giant projectors for the arcade for the tournaments. They had some artists in there. They had really cool, like this. I think they're called the Chalk Sisters, doing a Fate Zero design, which was really cool. And then I think the coolest part was actually they had a whole section set up for just cosplay sets. Like there was one that was absolutely beautiful. Like they had cherry trees and like it looked really nice. They
For
had
photo ops?
for photo ops.
Cool.
They had like a schoolroom set up, a little bedroom, a little sci-fi tent area.
Sorry.
I know exactly what you were thinking, and I'm sure it was probably done, but
Oh, yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
yes. But wait, I just realized that I'm sitting here talking about Anime Expo, but I'm forgetting the most important part. No trip to Anime Expo is complete without balls. Yes, the energy drink of AV enthusiasts everywhere.
Yes. But there was an interesting little cross war thing going on that I heard about.
Yes. There
The
was some,
fans.
oh yeah, literally.
Hmm.
There was some guerrilla marketing done, and it was actually done really well.
Hmm.
After like around day 2, it was started to get hot, and people were finding ways to fan themselves off. Now, normally you would have some sort of industry, be able to sell fans or just giving them out to promote something. But I see all these fans everywhere, but they all say Japan Expo USA, and literally they were everywhere. They were handing them outside the convention center where it was legal. So So the attendees were bringing them in. I have pictures of Anime Expo staffers fanning themselves off with the JX band.
I heard they were using them to direct people at
They
one
were
point.
using them to direct people. XCOM was using them heavily. They were all over the convention center and the exhibit hall. It was entertaining as all hell. But JX actually made a really cool announcement that Michael will bring up in a little bit. I just want to wrap up real quick with the stuff that I saw. First up, my panel, Ultimate Geek Showdown, was an absolute success. It was Starscream and Rainbow Dash versus Pinkie Pie and Deadpool.
And who won?
Deadpool and Pinkie Pie by a landslide. By a freaking landslide.
As it should be.
Yes. I'm putting together a video, and I'm redesigning the UltimateGeekShowdown.com website. That should be up later on this week with the finalized video and the tally and all the information. So if you guys want to relive that, or if you were just not able to make it, which I know there were some people who weren't able to, you'll be able to watch it on there. It was also great to see some of our viewers, like Sega Fan, Anime Manga Antagonist. I like Neo Stray Cat. Kathy the Goth. She showed up. She fulfilled her word. Of bringing me wings, and the strap snapped right at the beginning of the panel.
Oh no!
And they're really well done too. So, I took pictures, and you should bring up that one picture.
Oh,
do I have to bring up that one picture?
Yes, you have to bring up that one picture.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll bring up that one picture. But it was cool seeing all the the viewers there.
No, that's something in the chat room. It's okay.
Oh, okay. It was cool seeing all the fans there. To hang out with them for a little bit, take pictures, put faces to names and handles. It was really nice to see that. I wish I had a little more time to hang out, but they kind of kicked us out to get ready for the next panel, so didn't have too much time there. But I met up with a few of you guys throughout the convention, and that was fun. As far as like news and announcements, I'm only going to mention just a few. I'm going to keep most of the announcements and everything for Anime Break on Wednesday. I'm going to go through a full lineup on that there. Funimation announced a few acquisitions. From Studio Wit, they announced Hal, which is a movie about a girlfriend who replaces her dead boyfriend with a robotic doppelganger. Kind of weird. What else? Viz is going to reprint Ranma 1/2 in its entirety in print.
Unedited.
Yes, unedited, printed right to left, and they're going to be available in 2-in-1 omnibus formats.
Which I can't wait for.
It's going to be amazing. Jast USA actually announced they're going to release the Steins Gate visual novel stateside, English translated.
Yes.
That is amazing. I can't wait for that one. And I think the news that, it was kind of leaked a couple days ago, and I'm sure by now the event at Anime Expo is over. But Hatsune Miku,
I am so looking forward to it.
Yes, Vocaloid software, specifically Hatsune Miku software from Krypton, is getting an English version coming out to the United States this summer.
Yes.
Now
I cannot wait.
I'm waiting for more details. I'll have more details for you guys on Anime Break on Wednesday. But all we know is it's coming out, a full software release this summer. No idea how much it's going to cost, if it's going to equal what it actually costs in Japan. And even if it does,
it's not that bad a price, realistically.
This is true. If you guys want to sign up for the information, head over to mikuenglish.com and just enter your email address, and you'll be informed the moment it's available. I'm trying to think if there was... That's basically all I want to talk about AX. Because, like I said, everything else will be on Anime Break this Wednesday. But that wasn't the only major con going on this weekend. There was also... Anime Expo is North America's largest anime convention. Let's jump over to... Is it the world's largest?
Yes, it is.
It is the world's largest anime convention, which dwarfs AX by a factor of 4 or 5.
No, it's 3.
It's 3? Okay. It is Japan Expo, which take place every year in Paris, France. And
Yes.
they had a number of announcements themselves. We're going to mention a couple. One, we've talked about a certain series, a certain franchise getting a reboot, especially a live-action version of Patlabor. And we've talked about before, I'm hoping it's going to be epic. And then at Japan Expo in Paris, it made the announcement that Mamoru Oshii, which is one of the original creators of the series,
Of the Patlabor series,
will join the production in the upcoming live-action adaptation.
Which radically improved my outlook on it. I was worried. I mean, I know the CG is going to be epic because they're going to CG the bots. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But the fact that Oshii's actually involved in it now gives me hope. Gives me big hope.
I mean, Oshii's actually directed several live-action films before, so he has the experience for it. Not to mention, he has the eye of an anime director to know how it should look. So
Right, and he's got the vision. I mean, if I remember correctly, he was involved in the original. So,
so we'll find out more about this. I mean, this live-action adaptation isn't scheduled to be released until 2014. Hello, dogs. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we'll get some more trailers between now and then. It'd be really cool. Not really tying in with it, but it also kind of happened at Japan Expo. Idolmaster. It's just started making its way over to Europe, and so with the Idolmaster games being showcased for the very first time at Japan Expo. Well, we've talked about how these games, they have 3 iOS games available.
To make it even better, through July 10th, to help bring in this announcement, they're half off. And half off, okay, first off, the games are not cheap.
No.
Each episode is normally $59, which is pretty close to the Japan price. Actually, it's still less than the Japan price, because the Japan price for them each is like almost 100, I think.
Exactly, because these are all just ports from the PSP game, and if you want to import that, that's well over $100.
Right. So, and then for each episode. But through July 10th, they have it at half off. So it's 29 and change, which is $90 I don't have and won't have by the 10th. So I'm not going to be getting this game, unfortunately.
Yes. Now,
but it's a fun game from everybody I've talked to who's played it.
I may pick up one of them. There's no way I can afford all 3. I may pick up one of them. And each of these iOS versions include 20 songs, a select number of the girls that don't really cross over. So you basically go through them online. If you're interested, if you can only pick up one, find the characters you like, find which version of the game that they're going to be in, and buy that one. So
the games don't interact with each other?
As far as I know, they don't. They're all,
wow.
I
feel a little better then.
Yeah. Like, if you look at it, it's like you're expecting, like, oh, it's to be a dating sim with, like the full Idolmaster experience. No, these are just a music game.
Well, no, there's a little bit of that in there, but
tiny bit, but no.
It's not going to be like, it's not going to be like the full Idolmaster where, it's not a full date sim, but it's close.
Right. So I may pick up one, but if I do, I'll let you guys know. I'll record something with me playing or something like that. But going back to those fans at Anime Expo, they showcased some great people that they've already announced coming to the first Impact this year. But it also had another name on there that wasn't announced yet until this weekend. And who was that, Michael?
That was Sadamoto. I don't remember his first name.
Yoshiyuki Sadamoto.
Yeah, Yoshiyuki Sadamoto. For those of you who don't know that name, he is one of the original members of Gainax, and one of the original character designers for Eva. One of the key character designers for Eva. Most of the Gainax Eva art books that are out are his artwork.
Yeah.
This man is the shit, yo.
I can't say it better than that.
It's one of those, oh my god, other cons would give their left body parts to get this guest. So yes, Sadamoto will be at Japan Expo this year. So that just adds an even more to the stellar lineup. And there's still a couple guests to go that they haven't announced yet.
Mm-hmm.
But when they broke out at Axe and they threw that out in a big way.
The buzz was pretty. It was you couldn't ignore it. I will say that.
Yeah, yeah.
People are really happy with this because I mean, yes, Evangelion is absolutely huge. It's a staple of anime in itself.
It's one of the kings, if you will, of the genre. And
but also remember, Sadamoto-san worked on character designs for like Fully Cooley back in the day.
Oh yeah,
but more recently, worked with, or collaborated with Mamoru Hosoda for like character designs on Wolf Children and Summer Wars. So he's still incredibly busy.
He's still quite active and still busy. Yes. So yeah, they're gonna have him for Run of Con, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys should check it out. Head over to japan-expo.org if you want to get more information or purchase tickets. JX will take place this year from August 23rd to the 25th at the Santa Clara Convention Center up in the San Francisco Bay Area. So you guys should check that out.
Yes, indeed.
All right. But
moving along from that, let's see, we already hit all that. Already hit on that.
I want to talk some geeky stuff real quick.
Let's talk some geeky stuff real quick. Let's do that.
There's something that happened over the weekend. SpaceX, as private company, Elon Musk being the founder, one of the first private companies to have a contract. One of the private companies to have a contract with NASA to.
Right, they're the ones who won the space the race.
Right,
or the contest to get the contract for NASA launches.
Right. So they've been working on new ideas and new rockets and whatnot, and their new one is this rocket that they're nicknaming the Grasshopper, that's able to launch, hover, and land vertically by itself.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is very impressive. Like, and they had a test over the weekend, and I'm going to just put this in a side shot. This is not CG. This is a helicopter, I would say around 1,000 feet high, up in the air. Just watching. Well, it's 325 meters, so about there. But the Grasshopper literally lifts off upright, hovers for a while, and then goes back down and lands and kills the engine by itself. It doesn't tip over. It doesn't explode like the Russian one did. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible.
The controlled descent is the part that's the most impressive to me.
That's the hardest part of the whole bit.
Yeah, because that is the most difficult thing to manage. Getting it to take off on its own with guidance is fine. Getting it to land
and land smoothly.
Yeah, and doesn't let what's its drift?
As you'll see, that's
lands
like
exact.
Yeah, it's ridiculously accurate.
That's hella impressive. And it shuts the engines down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
it's so cool.
It's only a matter of time, dude.
We'll actually see something like this in our lifetimes. I can't believe it.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. I mean, oh God. Not so much for you because you're the young buck in the team here, but I'm old enough to barely remember the first moonwalk.
Trying to age yourself there?
Admittedly, I think I was 2, but I do remember it.
Hipster.
No, it's just the whole to see that go, to see that cycle go from, we have basically gone from never going to space to putting people in space to having rockets that can launch and land themselves in under 100 years. It's like 60 years. That's
true.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's.
I'm really waiting to see what's going to happen within the next 10 to 20 years.
I'm waiting on the Reapers to slow us down. We need Shepard, damn it.
Well, speaking of stuff that is flying, well, we've all been hearing about the drones and of course the airstrikes and how people can make their own drones and kind of scare
I'm
your
trying to
friends
set
and
that shit
family.
down.
Well, one person decided to make it a little easier, because before you had to create, entire drone from scratch or buy a kit. You had to make sure it's aerodynamic and you can control it from far distances. Well, there's a designer, Jasper von Loman. I'm probably messed up his last name. He created this thing. It's
Decreed.
called.
So to say, he decreed.
He decreed that you all should be able to make your own drones. So he created this Drone It Yourself kit. You can actually download this. All you need is a 3D printer and the ability to follow a couple simple instructions.
And 3D printers are comparatively cheap now.
Mm-hmm. So you have a 3D printer. You download the file. You follow the directions. Essentially, after you build this, you clamp the engines to anything. It could be a figure. It could be a small table. It could be your favorite mug. It could be someone you hate. I don't know. You put this all together, and you remote control. You can make anything turn into a drone.
And if you scale it large enough, I'm having visions of go gadget car. Where are you at, honey? I'm stuck in traffic. Not for long.
I'm just thinking if I was able to acquire a 3D printer and made something like this, I would try to make my own drone camera rig. So if we're out in the field, recording
follow us
something,
around.
we just have to just follow us.
That'd be awesome.
Come on, guys. Come on.
A 3D printer, you can get a decent 3D printer for under $2,000 now.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't afford that, you can go to your local Staples, and for a reasonable price, they will 3D print what you want.
Yep.
I love this day where we live in.
I'm so glad the 3D printers have come down in price. I'm so glad. I want them to come down more so that I can buy one. But the minute those come low enough that I can buy one, A, I better have a garage, and B, Nikki's going to be pissed because I'm going to be printing all sorts of shit.
Honey, where'd this pallet of wiring come from? Oh, that's for me. All right. Well, Michael,
printing sporks and crap like that.
Hey, I would not blame you in the least. But Michael, aside from wanting a 3D printer, you've been wanting for a while to move away from your iPhone, correct?
I've been leaning more and more towards it. Yes.
Which I find funny because I just got an iPhone.
Yeah, you finally got one. It's cool. It's a good phone. It really is. Mm-hmm. But
it's not for everyone. Just
no, I don't dislike the phone. I just dislike the OS.
That's fine. Which is why every once in a while we host a little segment called "Let's Help Michael Find a New Phone," and we've talked everything from HTC Ones to the Samsung Galaxy S4,
which is where I'm leaning.
But you know what? I think this phone might appeal to Michael in more than one way. One, it's coming from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And
because they get all the cool phones.
Japanese phones are the best.
Yes.
And with the fact that the FCC just cleared the merger or the purchase of
Sprint by SoftBank?
to Clearwire to SoftBank. They're all cleared.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be nice. This phone is coming from a widely respected company called Docomo and Sony.
Oh, it's Docomo. Uh-oh.
Yeah. They worked with Sony on their Xperia line, and they created an alternate version of the Xperia A phone featuring Hatsune Miku.
Oh, nice.
This is going to be a limited edition phone. By limited edition, they're only going to produce 39,000 units. Of course, they had to add 39 in the Sankyu in there.
Of course.
Actually kind of a decent setup in terms of the specs. Of course, you have the custom background, the custom backing. You have the little MP3 player that comes along with it in the custom color.
Mm-hmm.
The character designer, or the person who actually created the design for Miku in this one, is the same character designer who worked on the Miku designs for...
so it's K.
Yeah. No, it's Izima, who worked on the Miku designs for the Family Mart's Hatsune Miku Fair in 2012.
Oh, okay.
So
It's not the original designer, but okay.
True. But so I was looking at this going, I know he likes Miku, or Vocaloid. I know he likes Android. It's going to run Android 4.2 right off the bat. Think there'll be one for you, Michael?
I consider it. I want to see what its specs are up against the S4, though. Head to head.
You're going to get an S4.
Yeah, the Xperia. I've rented an Xperia in the past. On a trip, one of the trips to Japan I made. One of the phone I rented was an Xperia, and the Xperias are pretty cool little phones. They're Android. It's their basic generic Android, but they're not the most powerful kids on the block. You know, they're good phones. They're solid phones, but Sony's phone division doesn't get the love, support, whatever you want to call it, the priority that the game and the video divisions get.
This is true.
Because that's their bread and butter.
Back in the day when they partnered with Ericsson, they had more leeway with that, but not anymore.
But that was also kind of riding off of Ericsson's laurels, because Ericsson designed the phones originally. Sony bought Ericsson and then started modding from there.
Right.
If they gave it a little more, because there's also, they've got one, Sony's got another phone that's pretty cool that is a PSP, effectively, minus the drive. So that's kind of cool.
So we'll add this one to the maybe.
We'll add it to the maybe list. We'll add it to the maybe list.
Moving on real quick, we're running a little bit behind. The past few weeks, we've been talking about 4K TVs and 4K monitors.
It's this thing, yes.
Everything from Asus and their 39-inch 4K monitor, which looks gorgeous, but at $3,500, it's a bit of my price range.
Yeah, this one's going to be out of your price range, too.
Yes. Well, the Sekis, or whatever we're going to call them, they had the 50-inch for $1,000. They had the 39-inch model coming out later on this month for $700. That one's really tempting. But another player has entered the field with their own 4K monitor, being Sharp. They announced a 32-inch IGZO monitor. It is going to be 4K resolution, but they wanted to add their own little twist to it. Not only is it going to be a monitor, but it'll actually accept touch pen writing and drawing.
Cintiq, your days are numbered.
Dude, just wait till Wacom comes out with a 4K.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, if Wacom comes out with one of those, oh, boy. You know what's funny is I wouldn't be surprised if they licensed Wacom's technology for this.
I think it would be amazing if they did.
Because most of your tablet PCs for the longest time were using Wacom interfaces. The tablet I bought from HP was a Wacom. So...
would it be surprising?
That would be awesome.
All they say, it's a dedicated touch pen with a pen tip width of just 2 millimeters.
That's impressive.
Yeah. 4K resolution with that.
With the 2 mil. Ooh.
And of course, it has 2 HDMI inputs, a display port, an 1/8-inch stereo jack if you want external audio. This will be available in Japan later on this month. But they haven't stated pricing, but I'm guessing they're going to stick around Asus being around the $3,500 to $4,000 mark.
I'd be surprised if it was any lower than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to be an awesome... it's good to see that the players are entering the arena.
Yes. You know? Which means within 10 to 18 months, they'll become maybe affordable.
Yes, that's the hope.
That's the hope. But until we can all afford these 4K monitors, we all have to be cheap bastards, and therefore we love deals, especially in the summer when all the major retailers host digital game sales. Steam has yet to start their summer sale, and when they do, I will be broke. But in the meantime, Amazon's trying to get a head start on that with their summer gaming deals. We talked last week about the Borderlands what do they call it?
Set.
The deal, the set where it was Borderlands 1, 2, and all the DLC for like $21. There was just a couple this week that I wanted to showcase real quick. First up being Bioshock. I mean, we were talking about Bioshock Infinite at the beginning, and they actually have a triple pack that you can grab now. It is Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite. Download, you will get a Steam code for this for $40.
Ooh, that's nice. That's real nice.
Yeah, that is. I've only played a little bit of 2. I haven't played 1, so it's like, well, I've already played.
I haven't
Infinite.
played 2 at all. I've played 1. I just finished Infinite. I haven't even played 2.
Ah, well, there you go, $40.
Wow.
The other one is a game that was on sale by GameFly, but Amazon started to jump in the deal. I'm talking about the Batman Arkham series, where you can get Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City Game of the Year edition for less than $12.
Whoa, because they just did, what was it? No, that's actually cheaper than the sale that
GameFly was doing, or the other one.
No, yeah, was it GameFly or was it Steam?
No,
Where you
it
can
was-
get them
it
both
was
for
Steam.
$7.50 each.
Steam had the sale. This
Yeah.
is cheaper than that.
Cheaper than, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah. Now, if you already have, the first game and you only need Arkham City, you can get Arkham City by itself for like $7. You can find these just at Amazon.com, but there's a number of other deals. They're doing a bunch of Lego deals going on this week. So if you like Lego Batman and Lego Indiana Jones and whatnot, for PC download, you can get them for like $5 to $8 a pop.
Nice.
So,
nice.
go forth and spend money if you have any left
Go
from Anime
forth and
Expo.
game. Go forth and game. Yea, verily, the games doth await you.
All right. Well, Michael, as we always wrap things up, what have you been watching?
Bioshock. Actually, a couple things. Venture Brothers is still epic as always.
Yes.
I discovered that for those of you who have Netflix, Tron Uprising is on Netflix complete.
Really?
Yes.
It's sad to hear the complete bit because I would love to have more, but
Oh, I wish they'd do more. Oh God, I wish they'd do more. But and who knows? We may get lucky and they might. But yeah, so that's on Netflix. I actually, USA in their evil likes to do these marathons of NCIS, and I've been getting caught in them. Like,
see, for me, it's not NCIS. It's when they do the burn notice marathons, and I'm
Notice
like,
is good.
and my day is shot.
yeah. For me, it was NCIS. I just went. Especially if it's Ziva, if it's all the Ziva episodes. Oh yeah. Yes, go Team Venture. But that's pretty much what I've been watching. It's, although I'm gonna be watching this again.
Yeah, it kind of needs to have like a repeat viewing every once in a while.
Yeah, I may stream that. I'd get busted if I did that, though.
As for me, I do have a couple things I was watching. Since today I did not go to AX, I actually caught the first episode of several new series that are starting to stream on Crunchyroll.
Oh, good. What's worth it?
Surprisingly, free. The High School Male Swim Club by Kyoto Animation, who's famous for like K-On! And whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Servant X Service. If you loved Wagnaria or Working, it's exactly the same way, just in a public office.
Okay.
It's awesome. The new Rosen Maiden's pretty good. I did watch a couple things at Anime Expo because they have premieres there. I watched the Funimation premiere of the English dub of the first 4 episodes of Guilty Crown.
And
Holy shit! I have to say this. It surpassed all of my expectations.
really?
Number one, Funimation, they announced afterwards that over the next few months, you're going to see a lot of their new titles with voices you're never familiar with. They have a whole slew of new voice actors and actresses, and they're
Cool.
good.
Good.
Like, these people, do Shakespeare in the park for fun. Good.
Nice.
So
Nice.
blew me away on that one. So props to Funimation. See, my dog agrees with me. They did showcase the first English dub episode of the new Star Blazers 2199.
How is it?
Pretty good, actually. It's worth a watch in either English or Japanese. I will give it that.
Okay.
But the one I had to wait for, and I was so happy I did, and it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, you bastard! You bastard!
They showed the entire first OVA of Ghost in the Shell Rise.
Oh my god, how was it?
Maya Sakamoto is the major.
Oh, nice.
Because it's the major when she was inexperienced, when she still had faults, when she was still carried her heart on her sleeve.
Is she mostly human still, or
no.
is this?
This
okay,
is
so she's full
a prequel,
body.
but I think it's a prequel in an alternate world, alternate universe.
Okay.
Because they do this whole bit, not to give spoilers away or anything, but they did this thing where they started talking about how you would have ghost pain, where the your brain after you become fully cybernetic will still remember how an actual human body will feel and it would react accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Then she re-offs this thing that my parents kind of cyberized me when I was still in the womb. So right there it was like, and we're in an alternate universe.
Wow.
But you know what? Everything else is.
And actually doesn't necessarily need to be an alternate universe, because there was some interesting implications regarding her that I'm going to wait till I see it before I go further down this alley.
Yeah.
But there were some implications and hints from the originals that conspiracy hat's going to go on.
Oh yeah. Action was amazing. Production quality was what you expect from Production IG.
Good.
It was kind of cool to see the president of Production IG there. Same with the director. Sounded amazing. The Cornelius soundtrack works well.
Good.
My only concern was the pacing. The pacing is quick. Because, yes, it is an OVA, but it's only 50 minutes long, and that's including opening and closing titles. So they have to fit a lot into a small period of time frame. And aside from that, it worked pretty well. They jumped right into it. Like, there was no, hey, let's take 5 minutes of expose and tell you about everything in the past. No, they just jumped right into it and tell you as they go along. So,
cool.
Well worth it.
Good.
I know Funimation has they made the whole announcement that they're going to be releasing a subtitle limited edition version later on, I think this month, limited to 2,500 units, because these are just the imported Blu-ray. Kinda need to get it.
I think I need to call Sully.
Yeah. So it was fun because my friend, our friend Dave, was in charge of that room, was in Vid 1. And he's like, yeah, I told them, I went there personally, picked up the disc. It did not leave my person at all until it was in the PS3, and then it didn't leave my side until I gave it back. Like, he wouldn't let anybody touch that, and for rightfully so.
Yeah, no, completely, yeah.
Because if it was known that, a DVD or Blu-ray of Gets a Rise was walking around the convention, that wouldn't be private for long.
No, it wouldn't.
So,
well, it's like when we did, it's like what happened with oh god, the one Gonzo title, Last Exile.
Yeah.
Fam Silver Wing. Remember all that fun?
Yeah, I remember all that fun. And we're never going to have a repeat of Appleseed, but
Oh god. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I've been watching. So
Very cool.
That's pretty much all I had to talk about this episode. Anything you want to add, Michael? Or
no, I think we're good. It's going to be a very brief post show.
Yes, it'll be.
We'll do the BioShock review later.
Okay, that's fine. Want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know a few of you jumped in halfway. You just got back from Anime Expo. Hope you had a blast. I know I did. I'm so happy I met most of you there. It was great.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it. Sorry I didn't get to meet any of you. Hopefully you guys will come up to JX.
Yes.
I will be there. So I hope that those of you who can make it to JX will definitely.
Maybe we'll have like a
we
meet
have to
and
put
greet
in
or
a
something
panel
like that.
application.
We have to get a
Actually,
panel.
we don't have to put in a panel application because we're actually working that show. Wait a minute. Oh well. Either way.
Yes.
Sorry I missed you.
All right, everybody. Tons of fun. Stay tuned for Wednesday. I'm going to keep that episode of Anime Break to nothing but Anime Expo news. So if you guys want to share stories, videos, pictures, whatever, send them to me on my Facebook and Twitter, OtakuLife Jason. Send them to Michael too. I'm sure he'll glad to see them at Digital Panther, and maybe we'll put a few of them on the show. So,
and you can also email them to fromymyothersbasement@gmail.com, or is it fmmb@gmail.com?
info@fromymyothersbasement.com.
Sorry, what he said, as I point to the screen that you guys can't see me pointing at. That guy over there. No, wait, over there. There he is. There he is. Him.
All right, guys. Thank you much for hanging out for From Mother's Basement. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.